Hello and welcome to Simple French Cooking. My name is Francois. Today I want to teach you how to make this beautiful summer zucchini blossom and mozzarella tomato tart. Wow, that is so many words. What did I say? Today, I want to teach you how to make this beautiful tomato tart with zucchini blossoms and mozzarella. And I'm going to serve it with pesto, which is kind of like French pesto. A little bit different, but not much different. Now, I made mine with mozzarella today. You could use goat cheese, no cheese. You could put burrata. It's very versatile. If you don't have zucchini blossoms, don't put them on. If you got zucchini, slice it thin, put it on top. I mean, you can do anything you want. But it's so easy to make. It's just a piece of puff pastry topped with oven-dried tomatoes. And it's really similar to the tomato and olive tapenade tart I showed you last year. There's a link, up there, over there somewhere. Anyways, let me pop this in the oven and let me show you how to make it. Oh, God, this is a good one. And this is so perfect for summertime entertaining. Who wants to spend time fussing? We just want to make something that's really beautiful, super simple, has a high impact. I love it. It's rustic, it's no fuss. This will take you not too long to make, so watch today.
Time to make our pesto. So smash a head of garlic, and you can make it as strong as you like. I generally find one garlic clove is more than enough, and you just want to peel the outer skin off. It's easy to do that by smashing it with a heavy knife. And then be sure to trim any dried parts off the end. They're just not that great to eat. Now I do this in a food processor, so I'll just slice my garlic. You can add a boiled potato. That's a little trick that's going to keep it greener and more creamy. I add a pinch of salt and a bit of Parmesan, and then some good extra virgin olive oil. And then we're just going to take this mixture in the beginning and give it a good whirl around. And this is basically to break up the garlic and the potatoes and make a nice smooth paste. Now add your handful of basil and then process just enough till the basil leaves are chopped. Store in a small container. Time to make the tomato confit, which are just slow-cooked tomatoes. This removes some of the moisture and concentrates the tomato flavor. We just want to cut it about a 1/4 inch or so thick. You don't want it too thin, otherwise it'll be like paper-thin wafers. I like to cook it on a silicone sheet. That way it won't stick when it's done. In the old days, I just cooked them straight on the cookie sheet. Now just generously sprinkle them with salt. You also want to grind a little pepper on top. And be careful in your seasonings because these flavors will concentrate. I like to drizzle with a little extra virgin olive oil. Then right here I'm chopping some summer savory and a little bit of fresh basil. You can use whatever herbs appeal to you. I would advise you to keep them soft and also not too pungent in flavor. Now just sprinkle the herbs generously over the tomatoes. And then we're going to pop this into a 300-degree oven and let this cook, usually an hour or two. You'll notice that the tomatoes will be smaller as all the moisture cooks out. All right, it's time to finish up the tart. So buy all butter puff pastry. My grocery store carries a local brand, but use whatever you have, and at worst case, use the Peppered Farm stuff. It's not that terrible. Generously floured on both sides, and we're just going to roll it out. I'm making mine a rectangle shape, so I'm just going to roll it out to a big rectangle about a 1/4 inch thick on the dough. And you want to keep spinning it around because the idea is to keep it all the same thickness and to keep it perfectly, or as close to perfectly, in a rectangle shape. You know, that way you can just control it better, and it takes a little practice. But you know, this is a rustic tart. Don't worry so much about its shape. It's actually, the more funky, the cooler it is. All right, now take the edge of the dough and just roll it around your rolling pin or wine bottle, whatever you're using to roll, and then just unwind it over whatever surface you're going to cook your tart in. In my case, it's a sheet pan with a silicone baking sheet on top. And then I like to let this refrigerate for a couple hours. It just makes it easier to work with later. Now prepare yourself an egg wash. Simply by beating one egg, take a pastry brush and just brush the edges, and this is going to help seal the tart so that it doesn't come undone when you're cooking it. Oh, this tart is so incredibly delicious. You know, my little 10-year-old son just loves eating it because the pastry is so flaky and the tomatoes, it almost is like an upscale pizza, if you will. All right, now start folding the edges over, and I like to do it very simply. You can do it as complicated as you like, but really, to me, it's not the focal point of the tart. And then, you know, this is just to seal it over, and in case there's any liquid, the crust on the edge will keep everything in this inside of the tart. Also, it looks attractive, and if you ask my 10-year-old son, this is the best part, is the crust that's just soaked in the tomato juices. All right, now let's get a fork and just start pushing down the edge, and this is just going to completely seal it and also give it a nice looking pattern. And you know, but once again, do whatever makes you happy. You know, it really doesn't matter. And then we're just going to lay all of our tomato slices out on top. Arrange them any way that looks beautiful to you. I do this with no rhyme or reason. There's no great thought here. It's just get the tomatoes on and make it look nice. For me, the rustic, you know, unfettered look is always the best one. And it's, to me, more realistic of what you would see in the real world. Oh, this is going to be such an amazing tart. Just such fantastic flavor. Really, all the flavors of summer just captured in one spot. You know, you can eat this as a starter, or if you like, you know, for me and my family, we eat this as our main course. Get a nice big salad. Just super tasty, super satisfying, super filling. All right, I had these weird little odd pieces where the core was cut out and the core is a little bit hard. I just kind of curling them to look like tomato slices again. All right, now we got all of our tomato slices on. We're going to start pulling the bottom of the squash blossoms off, unrolling them, and then just putting them on top of the tomatoes. And once again, do this any way you like. If you don't have zucchini blossoms, you could use really thinly sliced zucchini slices, or you don't need anything at all. I mean, the tomatoes would be fine without it. To be honest, the zucchini blossoms don't have a huge amount of flavor. It's more for their color and appearance in the end than anything else. I, like a full planted 18 zucchini plants this year, so I'm trying to cull the herd by eating as many zucchini blossoms before they turn into zucchinis. All right. Now, I'm just gonna cover up the last remaining spots. You know, stuffing zucchini blossoms is also awesome, and I do have a couple of videos that you can search on my site for. I'll try to put links down below. So many great stuffed zucchini blossom recipes. that's the reality of why I plant so many zucchinis. There's just so many great dishes you can make with them. Now, I like to use little mozzarella balls, but you could also cook this tart with goat cheese, no cheese. Sometimes I bake it and then put a piece of burrata on top at the very end. So just do what you like. I also like to dust this with a little bit of Parmesan before I pop it into the oven. Just gives a little more texture and a little bit more flavor. Anyways, we're going to pop it into a 350-degree oven and cook it until it's nice and golden brown. Should be about 20-25 minutes. All right, and the last thing I like to do before I pop it into the oven, I forgot to mention, is just brush the edges again with egg wash. And this time what the egg wash is going to do is make the edges nice and shiny and golden bright brown. All right, and I apologize. I was so hungry by the time this came out of the oven that I didn't actually film a video of it out of the oven, but I do have this beautiful picture. And if you like this tart, please subscribe to my channel. It means a lot. Hit the subscribe button. Also, hit the notification to get a notification every time a new video appears. Thank you so much for watching. Have a great day.